You have to find Brad, and you must defeat all the fighters and get to the last level.
Welcome to Sci-Fighter.
We are talking the 2004 movie Sci-Fighter, which is also known as X-TREME Fighter in the US. This one is directed by Art Camacho and stars Don the Dragon Wilson, Cynthia Rothrock and Lorenzo Lamas. Now, this is a pretty cheap martial arts movie that's kind of to do with video games. So the plot here is we have this professor who is the father of Don the Dragon Wilson's character, who is kind of like a martial art expert, and he has his own son who is also kind of into martial arts and everything. So this sort of grandfather character has built this kind of this virtual reality game which is photorealistic, and you kind of, you know, an immersive world where you're kind of going into this reality and having various kind of combat situations. However, there seems to be a virus that manifests all on its own into this game, and when the son plays it, he kind of gets sucked into the game. His consciousness it gets kind of put in there, and he's like a lifeless body on the sofa. And it's up to the father, Don the Dragon Wilson, to go into the game to try and rescue his son. What'll happen? Well, you're going to have to watch the movie to find out. So let's talk about what can I say in the plus column of this movie. It does have a few recognisable names if you're a fan of the kind of the straight-to-video action movies of the kind of like the 90s especially. As I've mentioned, Cynthia Rothrock, Don the Dragon Wilson, Lorenzo Lamas, they're all there. And there's also lots of kind of other real-life martial artists, some of whom who have had small kind of roles in film and TV as well. You know, this movie makes a conscious effort to include genuine kind of martial artists and kind of world champions at various different disciplines in this film as to kind of the fighters and things like that. So if you're a martial arts fan and you kind of follow like the championship route of you know, certain people, you might appreciate having these kind of these real life martial art competitors in the movie. And I have to say, as you'd probably expect in that case, there are some fairly good martial arts on display here as well. However, that is where the compliments stop, because this movie was terrible. Jesus Christ, this was a bad one. I mean, Don the Dragon Wilson is one of these very prolific sort of B-movie action stars, and in my opinion, there's a few films that I think he's done that have been pretty good, or at least watchable, but there's been a lot of trash, and this is one of them. There's virtually no plot in this movie. It's about two people that get sucked in a game, and then there's a bunch of fights. That's literally it. That's literally the plot here. And it's just an excuse to have one fight after another with various different kind of locations and kind of costumes and things like that. And I've got to say, as much as I appreciate some of the martial arts on display are probably good, I don't think it's filmed or choreographed particularly well. In actual fact, some of the kind of the fight sequences, you can clearly sort of like, you see the people sort of pulling their punches, and we have martial artists who are obviously good on the competitive scene, but they're kind of play fighting, if you like, and you can tell they're kind of struggling to do it and not to connect, and it looks kind of like, it looks a little bit awkward, I have to say. The acting here, unfortunately, is terrible. I mean, you know, it's just not good. The script isn't good, the acting isn't good, there's no plot, it's cheesy characters, ridiculous kind of like technology. The 2004 movie, and we're meant to believe obviously that it's kind of this hyper realistic. I mean, it doesn't even pretend it's in the future or anything like that. It's just silly. The actual plot where this kind of virus is ridiculous. It kind of just manifests as this woman, and we just don't know where it's come from or why, you know, what it is and how it knows kind of the characters. It's just stupid. The movie as well gets kind of just dull and boring after a while, with just kind of like generic fight scenes. Oh look, it's Don the Dragon Wilson fighting a ninja. Oh look, it's Don the Dragon Wilson fighting two ninjas. You see where I'm going with this, and it doesn't stop just there. It's just completely, looks like it was just thrown together with the barest minimum of script, not a lot of takes and things like this, and the dialogue just probably, I'll just say that, and without kind of thinking about any type of generic, real drama. Lorenzo Lamasse's character does absolutely nothing in the movie, and Cynthia Rodwell's character does practically nothing as well. And she's kind of just there to be this like weird love interest. It's terrible. It's terrible, this film. I'll only give this a 3 stars because I do feel that there is, at least an attempt to have some decent martial arts, although I don't think it's filmed very well or, edited particularly well. It's bad. It's a 3 out of 10, and I feel I'm being generous with that one. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.